So let's do the thing. So this is session 0 for Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle. We'll kind of get into the details of that as we kind of delve a little deeper. The thing I want everyone to know is that I decided this chronicle will take place in present day-ish in my hometown of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So, yeah. So I'm intimately aware of things here in the area and all that kind of good stuff. So you'll get an insider's view and that kind of thing. But of course, the World of Darkness version of Milwaukee. So, and one thing I do want to point out, there's a way you can find out if someone is a native from Milwaukee just by hearing them say the word. So, Brian, say the name of the city.
Milwaukee?
Yeah. Nope, not Milwaukeean. So if someone from Milwaukee does M''Walkie, Milwaukee, every time. I guarantee this. Test your Milwaukeean friends. Do that. So anyway, on that note, let's introduce our players who are going to be doing the thing that's correct. We may have a fourth. Schedules get complicated, all that kind of stuff. I won't bore you all with that. But let's meet our people. Let's start with Cassie, fan favorite Cassie Mouse. And oops, I probably should readjust your labels here. Excuse me. Because you're not Brian.
Right, Cassie, hello, peoples. I have returned for this dark war of horror and madness.
So it's pretty much daily life. I get you.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. Good to see you, Cassie. How about you, Ryan? How are you doing? I'm liking that.
Well, hello, everyone. It's been quite some time. I thought it was time to come back, and I needed a break from my own campaign.
Excellent. Which is going pretty good. I'm going to have you plug that later. So please get that ready for yourself. And last but not least, Jenna, who is not a newcomer to ScottsCaseFiles. We've done one shot together. We did the Apocalypse Keys one shot. And also I ran her in, I believe it was Urban Shadows way back when. Yeah. So, but this is the first time she's on an actual full-on campaign, and I'm so happy to have her. Jenna's great and everything. So, Jenna, how are you doing?
I am doing very well. This is, besides being my first time doing a full campaign with you, it's also my first time playing Vampire, which I've been trying to get in a game for a while, so I'm excited.
Oh, perfect. Oh, good. Excellent. Yeah, I definitely like 5th edition. As just a little bit of background, I literally bought the 1st edition straight off the shelves back in the day. As soon as it came out, I think that was like 91 or 92. Because I'm old, by the way. I know this is before most of you were born. All of you were born. But yes, I bought 1st edition, played it.
Was that?
And yes, Brian?
Was that still when the company when they were still White Wolf?
Yep, White Wolf. Before it was full on World of Darkness, it was just White Wolf and Vampire. The very first, it was a paradigm changing game. I'm not sure if you all are aware of that. It was like my whole gaming life, which let's look at all the white hair here. You can tell it's been a long one. In my entire gaming life, it's like, well, what is it like to play the bad guy? I mean, you can play D&D with, I'm lawful evil, but there's no game that catered to playing the quote-unquote bad guy and kind of exploring that. And, of course, as you get into Vampire, you figure out that, it's just vampires are just a reflection of people, but much more honest in some ways. But yeah, so it was a paradigm changing thing where you could suddenly, I can play Vampire? Oh my god. Before I could only kill him and stuff in games, but here we are. It's catered specifically for this. So really cool. This edition I like very much. It's less rolling, which I like, as opposed to, hit, dodge, damage, soak, something else. I can't remember what the hell it was, but it was a long set of stuff. And I've been spoiled on like Powered by the Apocalypse and stuff where we're doing a lot less rolling and that kind of thing, or rolls do more. So we'll kind of see how this all goes. I'm very interested. So that being said, let's take a look. So let's get the basics of your characters. I think before we even hit the character sheets, we can kind of talk about I'd like to fill out your little nameplates. My understanding is that you guys want to do anarchs. Is that the group consensus?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. As opposed to Camarilla or Camarilla, even the freaking White Wolf people are like, whatever. Either way is really good, perfect. You have the purists who will say Camarilla from the Italian. I can't do Italian accent. I'm sorry. But yeah. Anyway, so you're anarchs. And that means that you don't want to be under the boot of nobody. But as we'll quickly find out, that's not quite how the world works, even in vampire or human life. But here we are. We'll find out how that goes. So let's talk about. I want to find out your character name, the clan, and like a 50 words or less. I'm looking at you, Brian. 50 words or less.
I know. I got the short version
of little blurb of elevator pitch for your character type of thing. So I won't pick on Jenna. I think she is still making the final decision. So let's leave Jenna for last for the moment. Let's pick on Brian though. Brian is always ready to go, and I know Cassie has a PowerPoint's presentation about her character. She's always way prepared, so that's awesome.
Okay, so where should we start first? The name?
Yes, what's the name? I'm going to change your name
Jean
right
Baptiste.
Away.
Jean Baptiste. So just Jean, and the last name's just spelled Baptiste.
And what are pronouns for Jean?
Well, Jean comes from Nolans.
Oh no, what are his pronouns? He, him?
Oh, his pronouns is he,
they,
him.
them.
Mm-hmm.
And what is Jean Baptiste's clan?
Malkavian.
Malkavian.
Sorry.
That's fine. You don't be sorry. never be sorry, Brian. I thought we went over that. Never be sorry. Nothing to be sorry for. So excellent. So let's hear your 50. I'm giving you 50 instead of 20, though. I'm kind of coming in between thing for us.
I was just gonna make it quick. I was just author in Nolans. Had a pretty good run writing horror fiction, and then I met my beloved sire Louis. I love him so much. And well, Louis, he is of course my sire, and he introduced me to the New World, and we run a little carnival it's a little boardwalk, little carnival, and I tell fortunes.
Cool. How will you be in Milwaukee? Is the carnival a traveling carnival?
Sorry, it's like one of those boardwalk piers where you see those side attractions.
Oh yeah.
So it would be something like that. Nothing traveling, just I said it wrong. It's just one of those little sideshow attractions that you see on a pier.
Okay.
We call it our carnival.
Okay. So you would be if it was in Milwaukee. You guys got to practice that. If you're in Milwaukee, it would be probably what I would like to put that is somewhere around Summerfest Park, Meyer Festival Park. You may have heard of that. It's kind of a big thing.
That's perfect.
Yes. So I'll put it'll probably be in there, and I'm kind of curious as to what the others are. Is this going to be so it's not just to clarify, it's not a traveling thing, or is it a group of people?
No. It's okay, because I was talking to Cassie about this, and when she said that we're going to be a fixed location, I immediately went to changing this. We were traveling, but Louis decided, hey, I like this area. Let's stay here for a bit. And this is going to lead into the coterie, actually. Cool.
So, cool. So, now do you travel with other people? Is this
yes,
like people would walk into a carnival and pay for tickets and stuff like that?
Yes, it's our family. It's our family. We call our clan our family. We're the traveling freak show. We were the traveling freak show, but now we're the cemented freak show. And they help take care of my daughter, who is human.
Ooh, one of your touchstones, perhaps. Excellent. All right, well, let's put a pin in that. I don't want to get too carried away.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're doing perfect, actually. Perfect. No, but that's cool. I want to hear that you're thinking about that stuff, because touchstones are totally important to the system. So, yeah, awesome, Jean-Baptiste. How about Cassie? Let's hear about your character. What's your character's name?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was trying to think of a good name for it, but I haven't thought of one yet.
That's all right. How about the clan? Have you thought about the clan?
Yeah, I know most of the rest of it. I want to play Bruja.
Bruja.
Bruja. And I pretty much knew what she was going to do. She's going to be like a college professor, and actually probably has a pretty normal mortal life in some ways. That she teaches a night class, she has an apartment. I plan to have it so she could pass background checks. She has an ID, she checks out.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of below the surface, she is definitely one of the leaders, if not the leader of a Lilith cult.
Ooh, I'm interested in hearing more about that. Cool. So hold that. We're going to get into that. And I haven't read up too much on that yet, so you might have to educate me, which is totally cool. Let me know when you have a name, though. Name is important. But it'll be Doctor, Professor, something?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. We'll come back to you. Don't worry about that. All right. Jenna, no pressure.
So my character is Noel Rua.
Okay, can you spell both those for me?
Sure. Noel, Noelle. And then last name Rua, Rua.
Cool. What are the pronouns for Noel?
She, her. She is a toreador.
Ooh. Sounds good.
In life, she didn't graduate college. She had a couple classes. She has an Etsy store, or had an Etsy store where she sold jewelry that she made. But what she really did below the surface was she's kind of self-taught hacker technology. She kind of, people that say like math is beautiful. She sees code as beautiful, like the perfect putting everything together is just a piece of art for her.
Goodness, that is so neat.
So she definitely had ties. She usually didn't do the crime herself. She was like a contractor for hire, but she always made sure she was a couple steps removed from actual crime doing or any mess. She doesn't like being part of the mess.
Well, she is a toreador, so that is on brand right there. So good job. Awesome. Let's see. So let's talk about. I'm not sure if it'd be better to talk about like the coterie yet, so we can, or have all three of you kind of discussed like things about particular items of interest for the coterie, what type of coterie, that kind of thing, why you're together. Jean-Baptiste, you have your hand up.
I was going to say whoever wanted to go first, but I had one possible idea about why we came to Milwaukee and we've settled down. Is because I was thinking that maybe we are Cerberus, that we're protecting or guarding a certain spot, an important location.
Cool.
Let's see.
What would it be? If it was that. Let's see here. Coterie. Let's look at the coterie stuff.
Yeah, it's protecting...
There's a lot to go through with all this, so we may end up doing part of this. We only have 3 hours. Now, basic creation
that would be enough. But
basic creation is not that hard. But this is such a faceted system. I can see why it takes a little more. But let's figure out what type of coteries you are. So yeah, so Cerberus is one thing. But yeah, basically protecting an area. Let's see here. We have the blood cults, who are formerly condemned as violation of Masquerade. Blood cults nevertheless resurge with the coming of Gehenna. Yeah, so mortal worshippers who are only too happy to give you their blood. Cerberus.
I'm definitely going to have a blood cult.
Everybody should. How do you leave home without anyone? Cerberus is protect or guard a certain spot or location, and we'd have to figure out what that is if you wanted to go with Cerberus. You have the champions, fight for a cause. Maybe even something Moaning Myrtle? Something mortals find worthy, or something really important to vampires. The commandos, they fight the master's enemies if they had a master. The Day Watch, which I can't really see being a really successful coterie because it's all about watching over your undead masters. Fang Gang, Criminal Gang, that kind of thing.
I think the Day Watch is for thin bloods that can walk during the day.
Yeah, at least somewhat, without completely bursting into fire at the first, touch of light. Let's see, we have hunting parties, capturing humans with particular qualities in blood, and that's kind of a thing within this version. Like the emotions that a person is feeling to whatever level can affect the drinker, and that kind of thing. And in fact, in order to get various disciplines to work them up, you need to actually get drink blood with these things, like someone who's has this terrified feel about them, or arrogant, or subservient, or those are different types of blood that you can potentially imbibe that do generally good things for you. So we have hunting party, again, capturing humans with particular qualities and bringing them back to others. Pardon me. Marechal basically guards the prince or baron, of which there's really no prince. This is Anarch City. There better not be a prince, or that'd be bad for everybody. Nomads, traveling from place to place, that kind of thing. And that could work with if this was a formerly traveling show, maybe that's nomads is something good. Plumer, birds of feather flock together. Social coteries. Let's see. Like, things you do together, that kind of thing. Questari, they exist to accomplish a great enterprise or objective. Regency, an elder of the Camarilla chose or created the coterie to guard their legacy as they were beckoned to the Middle East. And that's all, part of the lore. Basically, all the elder vampires are being pulled to the Middle East to do this Gehenna-type battle. And only the younger generation, such as yourself, can resist it and actually then kind of usurp the power, the vacuum that they left behind, that kind of thing. Sabiri, coterie disguises itself as one type of coterie while secretly serving another prince. You better not be that kind. I mean, that'd be an interesting campaign, I gotta say. So yeah, I wouldn't say no. Veme, named for the vigilante secret society of medieval Germany, protect the Masquerade at all costs. That's their job, enforcing Masquerade. Watchmen, they patrol the city, protect it from intruders, and that kind of thing. People who don't belong in the city as a whole. So there's that. So does outside of Cerberus, does anyone else have anything that kind of resonates with you? I know Cassie's all about the blood cult. How about Noel? Noel, what are you feeling?
Questari might be fun. But then we got to figure out what the target relic or mystery is.
Mystery. That's fun. I know my character is going to be very academic and stuff.
Interesting. I can see it going both ways. And we can always come back to this. It's not a big deal. My idea is like coterie might help you form your character, depending on what it is. So right now on the table you have Cerberus and the Questari, and I can see both of those totally working. We just have to find out, what is, if it's Questari, what's the thing you're trying to, find or do. That kind of thing, and of course the Cerberus is what, if that's the case, what are you protecting? Why are you all three deciding to protect this thing as a whole? That type of thing.
Let's see. Yeah,
So
the
again,
quest story.
go ahead.
I said the quest story may be fun because if we're trying to hunt down like lost vampire lore, stuff like that, that could fit with what I was planning.
I can make that work with my character concept. I can make that work.
Okay. So let's do Questari, and then we'll. I'm gonna think about it. How about we talk about that part on Discord this coming week? And again, I've already apologized to the players, but I've been like all over. Oh yes, Dr. Art Gallery is stopping by the way. Yes, Milwaukee, apostrophe Milwaukee. But yeah, Milwaukee. So, but yeah, we can talk about it in the Discord and kind of firm up the what we're looking for. I already have some ideas boiling around. You know how my brain works, to make things interesting. So that's another reason I kind of didn't do too much yet on the campaign intro movie, because I really need the inspiration of what is this group about that'll help me better make the thing and do it right. Plus, I've been, on vacation and stuff, which has really pushed my schedule back and all that. And these fine players have waited long enough, and with bated breath, and I did not want to push this back any further. So that is okay. So let's come back to the coterie. Let's say it's Questari, and we'll kind of come back to the Discord and talk about it then, and we'll come back to it after this. But I do want to concentrate on your character creation in this session, and do that. But that's cool. All right, that makes a whole lot of sense, and that gives you all a little bit of an idea of ways to go. So let's create some characters. So let's see here. We already have a basic core concept. We already have clans and mostly sires. So now we do attributes. So for those who haven't, now's I suppose a good time to go over to the Roll20 here. Hold time. All right, and everybody's here again. This is kind of bare bone stuff, but we'll be getting into more. Let's bring it here, and I've basically made this so everyone can edit everyone else's if they really needed to. It also allows everyone to see everyone else's, and I just put your player names here, but you should be able to change those also, and if you can't, I will. But otherwise, let's take a look at traits. So here are your basic attributes. They come in, again, this is, I'm kind of taking into account the fact that, and actually, I just want to, hold on one second. I'm sorry, I gotta get your Discord up here.
Okay.
There we are. Oops, hold on. Oh, there we are. Cool. And let's actually do this one. Hold on. Sorry about this. I'm just gonna do the thing here. Oop, that's not the one. Okay. Looks like it's this one. Cool. I'm just going to bring this off to the side. Again, excuse me as I adjust. This is our first session with this interface, so let's do the thing. And a little of this, and a little of that, and a little of that right there, and we're good to go. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so here we are. So for the benefit of anyone who hasn't played this version or Vampire at all, like Jenna, let's take a look. So we have traits. These are traits as opposed to skills. So skills are learned things. Anybody can learn a skill, right? Theoretically. There are things that I can't, of course, learn, but that's a different story for a different talk entirely. Won't get into it. But so your attributes are your kind of built-in things, like your strength, your dexterity, your stamina, and you can see that they're put in 3 different columns: physical, social, mental. And so, like the strength, just as you think of physical strength, think of charisma as social strength, intelligence as mental strength. Physical dexterity, kind of getting in and out of things, and it mirrors over to manipulation and wits. It's kind of making it work, dodging innuendo and that kind of thing, and of course stamina. Physical stamina, social composure, how you aren't going to, start crying in the middle of getting berated by your sire. Resolve, how hard, how many days can you go without sleep working on your code and that kind of thing. So that's traits. Let's start with traits. So attributes rather. So, let's see what we have. So take one attribute at 4. So that's going to be your best thing. So whatever you want to be your best thing, it should probably be a 4. So basically put 4 dots into it.
Yes.
Got it.
All right.
Alrighty.
And let's see here. Let's see. Okay. So 3 attributes at 3. So that's the next step down. And let me know if you guys need some more time. If I'm going too fast, I know it takes a little to kind of do the thing. I get you.
That's what I think.
Yep. Yep. So 3 attributes at 3, or attributes as you wish, as you like. And then cool. 4 attributes at 2. And then 1 attribute at 1. So like 1 is 1, and the rest we go from there. Cool. How's everybody doing?
Oh, I got all mine done.
Yes.
I'm good.
Awesome. All right. So let's see. So let's figure out your health and willpower. So, and this can change. We might be spending, points to advance some things here and there. But for now, your health is your stamina plus 3. So whatever your stamina is, it's plus 3.
Yes.
That's your maximum health. Your willpower is your composure plus your resolve. Pardon me. Excellent. And you see a lot of roll buttons here. They should actually be pretty streamlined, but we'll kind of figure out from there. So,
Okay.
what's that?
Just saying it's okay. Got it.
Oh, good. All right. So the next thing is do we want to do like complete, give you a point pool and distribute things, or do you want we can do the picking of skill distribution using like the jack of all trades, the balance, the specialist, that kind of thing?
I think the skill distribution is an easy one, because just looking at that specialist, it would be the easiest way for me to do it.
Cool. Is everybody cool with just picking one, or do you want to do the points in the pool?
I just picked one. I used balanced when I made my character.
Oh, good.
I don't remember what I used, but I used something.
That's okay. And we can go through the skills also. I think it's generally pretty self-explanatory. Let's kind of look down the list at the skills. So let's see here. So Brawl in this game includes such things as fighting with built-in weapons like claws. That's technically Brawl, as opposed to melee, even though technically there's a weapon in your hands, but it is your hand. Craft is everything from between making things, and it can even be like repairing stuff, like cars, or whatever. Drive, firearms, melee speak for itself. Larceny, all the stuff, pickpocketing, scaling a building, that kind of thing. Stealth and survival, quite easy. Animal ken, it's basically how well do you get along with animals? And that affects various abilities and, does the guard dog bite you type of roles, that kind of thing. Insight, I want to say that, actually I really probably should look that one up. Insight, I believe, is kind of like the hunch thing. Like how well do you, do your hunches or noticing things, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think insight is the tell
Like a
what other
perception
people
type.
are feeling.
Yeah.
Awareness is perception. Insight is like social perception.
Let's see. Academics. That's like, again, how well educated you are, how well you have everything rounded out, that kind of thing. Finance, investigation, medicine, occult, technology. Excellent. Yeah, these are all pretty standard. But we can definitely look whatever up that you need. All right. So also, let's see. Just want to go down the list here, make sure we don't miss anything.
Something like that. I don't know.
Doing fine. All right. Great. Cool. All right. Let's see. So if you have academics, craft, performance, or science, you can add a specialty to it. A specialty being like a specific area within that you do well. Those are free.
Which ones was that for?
Academics, craft, performance, and science.
I have all three of those.
Cool. Choose a specialty for each of them. And then that gives you one, I believe that's one extra die on your roll, and one extra die can make or break it, definitely, in this game. And then you get one more free specialty. So basically pick a skill and pop a specialty in that.
Let's see.
And again, as you do this, kind of try to think, well, what does my character do? If your character needs to be like the getaway driver, if you were, have a good drive level, you might just want that extra die when you're doing like, stunt driving type stuff, weaving in between light poles and that kind of thing at 120 miles an hour. So that's just one example of how that works. But think about like, what is my character going to do, and what are the best places to put these specialties? Like, what am I going to do most? And in theory, that's what you're going to be leaning on to kind of get the job done. That kind of goodness.
Where do you... Oh, there, I see. I was going to ask where the specialties go, but I found.
Yep. You're doing fine. Let's see here.
20.
All right, and let me know when you guys are ready for the next. No pressure.
Is anyone a fighter
Great.
in our group?
Can any of you guys fight?
Just because I'm not.
Not really.
There's
Jean
so
does
much.
not dirty his hands.
We're definitely in the anti-fighting group. It's good.
Well, that just means you're in the smart and social group, so that's always good. And as you need stuff, we can always. And again, as I usually tell my players, they're things are not in stone in the first session. So if it's just not working out for you, we can always switch a stat around here and there to get what you do want. I want you to have fun and be comfortable with your character.
I think I'm gonna take this dot out of politics and put it in firearms, just in case.
Sounds good.
Firearms.
Firearms. Too funny.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, what's everyone's health?
Jen's already worried about coterie survival.
Just worried.
Oh, 5.
5?
All right, I'm 5'2". Nice.
Don't worry, everything's gonna be
definitely.
fine.
I feel like we definitely work well together somehow.
Yeah, don't worry. We're gonna figure this out. It's gonna be okay. It's awesome. All right. So now let's choose disciplines. This is like one of the more fun parts of being a vampire in Vampire Masquerade. So you have your clan disciplines. You should have. Every clan has 3. That's their specialty. You can of course go outside that eventually, and you might actually with some extras here. Once we get to choosing your predator type and stuff, but. So for disciplines, choose 2 of the 3 disciplines that are specialties of your clan, and put 2 dots in one and 1 dot in the other.
I have to say my alternative concept for this character was probably a lot more fighty, but that's okay.
Well, I like to see you. You're branching out a little, Cassie. You're the one who lays the thud down. So be academic. It's okay.
Yeah.
It is okay. All right.
Let's see, dice.
And if you need me to look anything up for you, like discipline stuff, I'm happy to do so. Or if you have questions, ask questions. We're good. Not to worry.
Yeah. Just picking out my stuff.
Excellent.
I will have a lot of presents.
Oh, good. If you're going, I don't mind. Presence was the one I was not going to choose, so that's good.
You have to have one cult of personality with you, right?
It makes sense for the blood cult, really.
True. Very true.
Yes.
All right, and let me know you're all ready.
I think I get. I'm just filling out all the stuff.
Yeah, what the roles are.
Let me see.
Ooh.
I think
Beautiful.
Well, that's pretty cool. It even does the tells you what it is. That's neat.
Is that doing it right?
Oh, that's neat.
Ooh. Interesting.
Nice.
Let's see if this works for me. I didn't show what it is for. 'Cause that's supposed to be for.
We'll figure that part out. Don't worry.
Yep. Show the right
Yeah.
name.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Everybody have their disciplines?
I just need to fill out the
Yep,
stuff, but I know what they are. Yeah.
I know what they are. I just gotta fill them
I
out.
know. I got him.
All right. Let me know when you're ready. We'll continue on to the predator type. Ooh.
Lingering kiss, which is fun.
Predator time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. We're moving along, I guess.
Okay. Is everybody good to go on to predator types?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. All right. So I'll probably have you guys look over your own. I'm assuming you guys have a book in front of you or somewhere there. If you don't, I'm happy
Yeah.
to kind of read stuff off for you. And I'm assuming you guys already have ideas in mind.
Yes, I know exactly which
Mhm.
one.
Cool.
The Osiris.
I had a feeling Cassie was going to go for that one.
Ooh, since we're waiting, let's take a look at that. Ooh, a celebrity among mortals. You run a cult, a church, or something similar. You feed from your fans or worshippers. So that's cool. Let's see here. Gain 1 dot of blood sorcery if you're Tremere, which you're not, or presence. Let's see. Oh, that's interesting. You add a specialty to a cult or performance. And you get 3 dots between fame and herd backgrounds. That's nice. 2 dots between enemies and mythic flaws. Interesting.
Yes. Predator
Cool.
types.
Yep. Yeah, so go ahead and, feel free to, once you choose your predator type, feel free to pop this stuff in. Again, for those watching, each predator type offers different benefits. Basically, it's like, what the question is asking, how do you get your blood? What's the way you generally do it? And because you choose to do it this way, and people, not people, vampires, they're not people. As vampires, do their thing, go through their own life, they tend to kind of stick to a pattern, what works best for me. And because of that, they get other skills and other benefits from doing that thing. Like, let's take a look at the consensualist. You never feed against your victim's will. So it's always someone who consents to have their vitae, their blood, drunk by you. So you have to add a specialty for medicine or persuasion. Dot and aspects or fortitude. And gain a dot of humanity. Ooh. Gain the dark secret flaw, Masquerade Breacher. Interesting. Yeah, because it's inevitable for that, right? Gain the feeding flaw, prey exclusion, non-consenting. Yeah, so you're actually improving your character in some area by choosing your predator type. It's pretty cool.
Yes. What does other people think they're going to go with?
Going siren.
Bagger.
Ooh.
Siren.
It's all.
Siren's
Going
fun.
siren.
Siren sounds interesting. And Bagger, ooh. That's gonna be interesting. All right. Let's do advantages. So you have 7 points to spend on advantages. Take 2 points of flaws in addition to the ones gained from your predator type.
Are we like using points to make a coterie at all?
So basically the way it works is, if anyone is more familiar, correct me wrong, but I one of the cool things about going on vacation, like in the middle of nowhere, is being able to just read and not be interrupted. So my whole world was like reading the vampire book, actually, for like a week. So your the ones we're choosing here are specifically for you.
Okay.
Like if you choose like a herd, it's your herd. You can maybe allow others to use your herd and that kind of thing, but it's not the coterie part. So the coterie is going to be separate, where each of you is going to contribute something to this whole, which is your coterie, and give your coterie certain things: a place to live, a herd, cover identities, that kind of thing, and you're all going to kind of contribute to that whole, which is the coterie, and make it a little better for you being there. And when you leave with that also. That's kind of one of the things. It's like you it's if you're not there, your benefit is not there. That kind of thing.
Are we? I guess my question then is: do we live together, or do we each have our own house? Because that's an advantage, right? Having your own place.
Let's see. So no, so advantages are different. Advantages are, let's see if we get the list of those suckers. These are the things that like make you like merits and flaws. So for example, if you're looking at the PDF, like 179 is where you're going. So you have seven points to spend on merits and backgrounds and that kind of stuff. But you have to take also two flaw points, 2 dots. It'll be there when you're playing this game. There's a whole lot of dots that are talked about. So, and for obvious reasons. So, like for example, if we go into the merits, you have the linguistics merit. Basically tells you what other dots do, but there's also the illiterate flaw. You're illiterate for 2 points. But basically the system makes everyone take some kind of flaw and kind of go from there. Okay. And again, it can be a little time consuming, but if and we can always swing back around. This is not a timed event per se. Whatever we don't finish here goes on the on the Discord and that kind of stuff. But yeah, merits are like what make you more efficient, better. Flaws what hold you back and may cause you to get in trouble. So yeah, let's see here. Yeah, you like have the beautiful and repulsive, beautiful merit but repulsive flaw, and that kind of thing. So there's a yin to the yang at least a little bit, or yang to the yin. Yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm. But I know in the original game, there were just pages and pages and pages and pages of these, and they've kind of worked it down to a few pages. I'm sure that will
I was going to ask you, I can't remember, is Olivia Young a name?
Sure, it can be.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that wasn't like a name of some kind of important person.
It's if it's your character, it's definitely an important person to me.
Okay. Olivia Young will be fine.
Olivia Young it is. Just pop that up there for you. And what are Olivia's pronouns?
She, her.
Pardon
me? She, her.
She, her. Excellent.
Mm.
Perfect. All right. You guys now have full nameplates. I'm so proud. They grow so fast. Yeah. They murder so quickly. So let's see.
So I do need. I do know some of the stuff that I want to take in the advantages and stuff.
Okay.
Background. I know mask, the 2 dots, is good because it lets you be able to have a mortal life, basically.
True. So let's see here. Looking at my own goodies here.
And then I know I need to take, I get 3 dots of herd from my predator type,
Cool.
which is like 6 to 15 people.
Excellent. So just as a note, so the right now we're doing it's advantages. So you can those 7 points can go into merits like the make things that make you innately better. Your background, which are the herd and the other goodies, and then of course, I shouldn't say of course lore sheets, but there's lore
Yes.
sheets.
I did consider, since this was going to be a short game, taking like spending a lot into the lore sheets, but I don't know if I will. Because
Hey,
I doubt
this is 10 whole sessions. That's a lot of time, man.
yeah. Well, I doubt I'd have enough to get much of the lore sheets because I think the XP is pretty low.
Yeah, we might up that just because it is a shorter campaign. This Vampire is definitely, it's one of the cool things about Vampire and various White Wolf games are they really are made to, like, you could totally do these campaigns for years, no problem. And, character development transforms and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah. And again, I encourage you guys to y'all to kind of once we're done here today or tonight, go through the week. Let's talk on Discord. Feel free to change things up. Or it's like if you look at I you know what, I really want this background instead. Let's move points around. That's not a big deal. So just kind of keep that in mind. And then session 1, again, what doesn't work, we can change too. I want you guys to, again, enjoy your characters, have a good time, all the good stuff.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to at least spend 2 points into the Bahari, which is the Path of Lilith lore sheet.
Where do I find that?
It's on page 384.
Cool. All right, we'll come back to that. How's everybody else doing on their 7 points of advantage and 2 points of flaws?
And I know for my flaws,
I just need to get one more merit. I have my flaws.
So what else is everybody else picking?
Okay, I get the beautiful merit from being a siren. For my flaws, though, I'm going with the spurned lover and prey exclusion.
Or are you saving it for later?
It goes into my touchstones and convictions.
Excellent.
Let's see.
Okay. All right. Let me know when you all are ready, or if you want to keep, talking about, let's, working who has what strengths and who needs to fill the weakness spot or whatever. We can do that too, as you like. Don't be shy.
Yes, like what are you doing?
Noel, what are your choices so far, Noel?
So far, well, I get from being a bagger, I get the feeding merit iron gullet, and then I get a 2-dot enemy as a flaw. And then I decided to take the suspect flaw, although I haven't decided what faction it is, just for 1 dot, which basically you're not good with this sect at all. You weaseled out of a boon, broke an oath, or did something similar. So someone doesn't like me, and someone is an enemy who really doesn't like me, probably within the same sect. I just don't know what that is yet.
Okay. That's
Um,
okay.
and then for merits, I'm also taking 2 dots in mask, and 1 dot in cobbler, so I can actually make mask.
Oh wow! Oh, that is so cool. You're like the secret or the false identity maker of the group.
Yes.
That person. That's pretty cool.
And I'm gonna take, to go with that, since I feel like that should be fairly profitable, I'm gonna take middle class resources, which is 2 dots.
It's something I want to ask you, Scott. Working as a college professor in Milwaukee, how much money would you have?
Oh well, that's you're so precious to think that they would actually make a great deal of money. I mean, it's up to you. So if you at any level is really realistic. Like if you are like published and getting grants and that kind of thing, and that you're actually using for your own ends and whatnot, then you might have a bunch of dots in resources or whatever. Or you're just an underpaid professor with not a lot of what's that word I'm looking for? Tenure. Not a lot of tenure. Who doesn't make a whole lot at all, as much as a graduate student or something like that. So it really, whatever works for your character, whatever you want to put in it, works for your character, basically.
Yeah, no.
All right, Noel, extra points if you know why a person who makes false identities is called a cobbler or a shoemaker. It's okay.
I just assumed it was cobbled together something, although it could.
Yeah, so it comes from an old espionage term. When spies would talk about needing a new set of papers, they'd talk about they need a new set of shoes. And that just continued on to shoemaker or cobbler. Little tidbit there for you.
I did not know that.
And now you do. So if, by the way, if that wins you, if you win on Double Jeopardy on that question, I need 25%. So just putting it out there.
Okay. I think
Fair.
25% seems reasonable as long as it's after taxes.
That sounds good. I agree to those terms.
I was thinking of taking a Malia, and because if I took that, I could have maybe like a group of vampires that are Lilith worshippers in the city that I'm kind of somewhat allied with.
Ooh, interesting.
And it's possibly like a mentor. It could be like my sire or something.
Ooh, yeah, that's all good stuff. Yeah, go nuts, guys. I mean, let's make those characters what you want them to be. Let's get crazy.
There we go.
Within the bounds of the points you have at the moment.
It's going to be a good. There we go. The last thing is going to be a good size haven.
Nice. Havens are good.
But I want to take an extra flaw.
Ooh.
Because I want it to be haunted.
You want to be haunted?
I want it to be haunted.
I'm sure we can arrange that. That would only add to flavor, so sure. Why not?
Yay!
Let's get wild.
On page 192, the Malia background, can you help me figure out exactly how this works?
Malwa. So the trait represents one or a group of kindred who looks out for you, offering guidance, information, or aid once in a while. Yeah, so this is like a vampiric mentor, someone who kind of has an vested interest for whatever reason in what you do and how things go. So they have a vested interest in you doing well, but the way that's written here, it doesn't come for free. So let's see. So this could be like a person, or I think it even says it could be a group. like a group or clique of people who have a vested interest in you for some reason. And it looks like they offer advice, speak to the prince on your behalf, steer other elders clear of you, give you warning. So they're kind of the people that are higher up in the hierarchy than you that can really give you some kind of, political protection or political advice or other advice, that kind of thing. So I suppose the points you
Okay.
spend in it then decides like how much they can do for you.
Mm. Oh, right.
Yeah, so let's see. As a general rule, Moali provide a helpful word and occasional political pushes or cover, but they don't fight all your battles or call in valuable favors. If they must do so for their own sake to aid you, you probably lose a dot of this. So yeah, it's like they do. Yeah, so character can also acquire one-off minor boons from other kindred. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, we won't worry about that. But yeah. Yeah, so basically, as a general rule, they provide helpful words, occasional political pushes or cover, but when like they aren't going to like see the sun for you, basically, that's too far. But the points in them decide like, how much they are willing to do for you before they say no way or it's going to cost you even more.
Yeah, I think I put like 3 dots into that. So that would
Someone powerful likes you.
yeah.
Must be nice, right?
Groups of like Bahari usually have like they have like places called gardens,
Cool.
which
All right.
it goes back to after Lilith left the Garden of Eden, she basically started her own garden. And so that's why they name it that.
As you do. Cool. All right. So yes.
I took the stigmata flaw.
Oh no.
Yeah,
That will be interesting.
Reaching hunger 4 is real bad for me.
Oh yeah.
You better keep those blood bags coming.
Yes.
Keep it flowing.
Oh no.
The last 2 points I spent on the Bahari lore sheet of ritual scarification.
Ooh, neat. I don't recall reading up on that one, so that'll be my homework for next session. Excellent. All right. Anybody have any points to spend, or are we good to move on?
I am good.
Still have 2 points to spend in merits, but I'm not sure what I want.
Okay. Just make a notation that you have the 2 and somewhere. We can always come back.
Yeah, I got to figure out where to spend my other flaws. I got 2 dots in enemies, but I'm not sure where other than that.
Okay. Sounds good. And I think you only need to take 2 flaws, technically.
I get enemies from
from
my
the
predator type.
Yeah, from your predator. Okay, I see. So yeah, you need to take 2 points in addition to that. Gotcha. Alrighty. Like I said, if you're not sure, again, this is not all in stone, so don't worry about it. Why don't you put a pin in that for yourself and make a mark of how many points you have left to spend, and we'll continue on to convictions and touchstones, which is new to this version of Vampire, by the way. It's kind of cool. So you have convictions. These are things you don't do. These are your rules. These are your morals, kind of, sort of. And then along with convictions, you have the mirror of the touchstone. Someone in your some kind of mortal, a non-immortal, who exemplifies this conviction in your eyes. So they're literally a touchstone to that conviction. The idea that yes, by seeing this person, I see this thing in them, this conviction that I've taken, that kind of thing. So and it can be any number of different people in your life or that kind of thing, etc., etc. But let's look at that real quick. So
Yeah, convictions.
Yeah. Here we go. All right. And also, we have to figure out Chronicle Tenets. That's also really important. And maybe we should discuss Chronicle Tenets before we do your own convictions and stuff like that. So, Chronicle Tenets are basically the overall Chronicle rules, the things that if you do that, they will stain you and that kind of thing. The book gives several different, groups of options, that kind of thing, like the creed of justice: never kill the innocent, be your own, never submit, without a cause you are nothing, and that kind of thing. So it's like, what do you what are your alwayses and nevers? Or mostly, really, actually, these are really your nevers for the Chronicle. What do we not want to see, or what do we want to see get punished, in terms of, like, basically, if you do these things, you get stains, which then can help to erode your humanity and slowly turning you into the beast and that kind of thing. So, like, what? And it seems to do, like, in groups of threes. It likes threes. So, like, are there, like, the group of them that you would like to see just in the Chronicle as a whole? And these kind of come, in my eyes, this very much does like like the in-character version of the lines and veils sheet. Like, for example, like the humanist version, thou shalt not kill save in self-defense, thou shalt not rape or torture. And that's a really good one to have no matter what, because it's because those there is no there are no sexual attacks or anything in my games. Those are lines that are not crossed. So and I'm actually gonna, if you haven't looked at the lines and veils sheet, I pinned it in our Discord chat, so definitely fill those out. But if you guys are kind of low on ideas, we can always come back. And then, of course, we don't have this. They can be our own creations. They don't have to be any of these groups, or you can take this from that and not the other two, or whatever. And
yeah, I was going to say, being that we're anarch, something like the creed of justice would probably be reasonable.
I definitely like be your own, never submit as one. There's one further down in their example that's act like a person, not a beast. I'm considering we're not really the most physical group. Maybe something, I know I keep going back to that. Maybe something along the lines of, like, try to resolve things. It's kind of the same thing, but you try to resolve things.
like something like mental strength before physical strength.
Yeah, something like that. Or
Cool.
social or mental before physical.
Cool. That can definitely be one. That sounds pretty reasonable. Since I think it's like, again, since it's see, like the tenets are like stuff that are possible to happen in the game. So we don't need to put like rape, because that's not going to happen in this game anyway. So there's no chance of that happening. This is just not a thing in this world. So that's a line. That's one of my lines. That kind of thing. So do you want to put like be kind to your food or something like that?
I feel like that's definitely up to the blood cultist of how she's feeding over there.
Well, let me just I'll just read it off to you. It says, vampire adherents of the path of others, was known as the Lilithu or Bahari, revere the progenitor of vampire as primal femininity. They believe Lilith is the first usurped vampire mother who births the Vitae, and that all kindred are her children. Stagnant patriarchal vampire society perpetuates the lie of Cain as progenitor. The Bahari seek enlightenment through pain and conflict, turning this masochistic urge into strength to endure and overcome. As Lilith rebelled against God's commands and fought against her curse, followers defeat weakness and curses upon them to become something else. Some Bahari lead other kindred to enlightenment, others become perfected predators. Bahari depreciate compassion in favor of fleshly pleasures, transient love, and strict parenthood over lesser kindred. As a Bahari, you fulfill the role of torturer, student, teacher, or lover to other kindred. All evidence you have seen points to Lilith as the first usurped vampire, or perhaps you secretly adhere to the Church of Cain and gnaw at the Bahari from the inside out.
Interesting. So yeah, that's a lot to gobble up there.
I don't think we're going with too much humanist, though.
Nope.
Thou shalt not torture is going to be a problem.
Oh.
Well, she does it. She doesn't torture. I mean, I have ritual scarification, but she doesn't do it like she doesn't do it to unwilling people. It's like ritual type stuff.
But do you use your presence as part of the willing part?
Ooh. Technically, it kind of counts, right?
Yeah.
Oh, too funny. Pardon me. All right.
Well, yeah, it's definitely like that. It's less about like pain and more like reaching like ecstasy. You know, like when you're doing that kind of stuff, it's about like reading altered states of consciousness, like through like pure ecstasy.
I was. God, yeah, I'm too much of a wuss to get to that level. It's like, ow. Okay, no. Snuffleupagus is the safe word. So,
yeah.
You'd be like, oh, looks like I'm not Bahari material here, but we knew that already. Okay, so we have some good ones. So let's see. So let's see here. So mental power before physical power is potential, or something to that effect is one of the potential ones. Do we want to do the don't kill an innocent?
Yes.
With of course non-innocence being totally on the table, pun intended.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I'm fine with just going with like the creed of justice if we don't think anything else. That seems fine to me.
Okay, we can. Noel did have the good one about the be the human for the monster, or the other mental before physical violence, that type of thing, or whatever.
Yeah, that's totally fine too.
And then so how about so it seems like, and correct, I'm putting it out there, correct me if I'm not picking up the right things. So the creed of justice part, never kill an innocent, be your own, never submit, and the mental violence before physical violence, or something like that. Think before biting, or something like that, as like a third one. Does that seem like the three that you're kind of gravitating towards? Am I picking that up correctly?
Yeah, I like that.
That's beautiful.
I think that works.
All right. Awesome. Okay. So so that, again, I think that it definitely helps us, get a better idea of the campaign also. So, all right, now let's go to your own personal convictions. And you can do 1 to 3. Now, there are benefits and drawbacks of having both convictions and touchstones. which we'll eventually get into. So the question is, you can do you have to have at least one at one conviction and a mirroring touchstone, or up to 3. So think about that. And let's see here. So these are like the human. So these convictions are like the thing that keep you human. The touchstones are the things that keep you in touch, so you just don't go straight off the edge and be a murdering, rampaging beast and just say screw it and just murder an entire nightclub, or go back to your parents' house and get revenge on them, spanking you as a kid or whatever, all that kind of weird I just became a monster crap. So the specifics of these convictions are up to the player. They might reflect a religious code, a personal ethical core, a vampire path, or just things the character does or balks at without ever really considering their philosophical weight. So they give as possibilities, thou shalt not kill only the unworthy, never expose children to violence, love thy neighbor as thyself, disobedience, dishonor, protect the innocent from harm. These are things that, again, by putting yourself out there, these are things that are making your life more difficult because you have to be more human, but they also have a chance for reward also. But yeah, these are kind of like the things that, this is your personal credo and that kind of thing. So that's what I want you guys to think of as you're kind of looking through this, and then we can talk about touchstones.
Guys.
I got convictions.
Yeah, so as it kind of notes, as I talked about stains, like when you do something that's wrong, either from your own personal convictions or the Chronicle Tenets, you get stains, and the stains are the things that potentially help erode your humanity until you just jack the freaking Ripper 24/7. So what convictions help. One of the things that convictions do is, so if you get a stain in service of conviction, that you reduce the stain by 1, which is pretty darn helpful. So if you killed an innocent, which is outside of the bounds of the Chronicle Tenets, but it was, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Well, if killing the innocent, guy with a bomb is like, they're going to take out my family if I don't press this button. If you kill that guy, you just killed an innocent, but you saved all these other people in doing so. So you would still get a stain. You killed an innocent, but it may be partially or completely mitigated by the fact that you did it in support of your conviction. So it's like in earlier versions of Vampire, they had the path of, they still have humanity, if you will, but this takes it a step further and says, how do I write this in my head? How do I write what I see as human and humanity with this other code here, and how do they come together, and how do I survive using them, and that kind of thing. So stuff. This is deep stuff, man. This is way deeper than any other role playing game, right? It's like, damn, I didn't want to think of this. Is like I need to what are my convictions? I'm not sure. Do I make a list? Do I have touchstones?
So
I don't know. Maybe I do. This is just deep, very deep.
So if you'd like to hear mine, my first one's never to expose children to violence.
I took that one.
And the reason for that is because Jean-Baptiste has a human child. It's his daughter. It is his daughter. Her name is Shoshana. But everyone in the clan just calls her either Annie or Shanna. She's 5 years old. And that's basically the root for Jean-Baptiste's humanity. And he made a personal promise that no one would turn his daughter, that she would stay human, that even when she turns 18, it's her decision. Either she'll just go on to live as a human, or if she wants to turn and be with her father for the rest of eternity, she can choose that.
Who the hell would do that?
But it's her choice. But it's her choice.
Yeah. That's horrible, but okay.
That's like a punishment. That's right? No, I'm just kidding. My lower dad, I do.
But then the other one is that because I specifically chose "Thou shalt not harm the innocent," and that's because Jean Baptiste took a life of his ex-wife's father. He endangered Shoshana's life, and instead of being responsible and just calling the police and having them take care of it, he gave in to the beast and killed them with his bare hands, and that's why he abhors violence now.
Wow. Very cool. Let's see.
Yeah,
So-
definitely took one. Always aid women in need.
Ooh, that's very good for your, especially for your background there. That's neat. That's very neat.
That's going to be really good.
Oh, you have to you just imagine the little spider web of issues I'm going to put in your way. Oh no!
Oh, no.
Oh yeah.
To help the woman, you have to harm the innocent. I don't know what to do. It's crazy. A little coterie infighting. We'll see how that goes.
Well, the other two I'm not sure about, but
That's right. Noel, how about you? Are you coming up with any?
Yeah, so
Oh, sweetheart.
so her
Oh yeah, that's the stuff right there.
oh puppy. So her touchstone is her brother who has a family, and so she has human nieces and nephews. She doesn't see them in person, but she does hack security cameras. She saw hospital footage of them, so she keeps up on their lives even if she's not a part of it.
Oh, that's so cool.
So never expose children to violence. And then the other one's a little complicated, but it's don't do irreparable harm to those who don't deserve it. So it's not so much that you can't do anything, but it's like if someone, is poor and they just got their saved up to get a car and, their job's depending on the car, then don't steal the car. But if it's a middle class family that probably has insurance, you could take the car.
Nice. So who's the touchstone for that one?
They have to be living.
That's part of it. And that to be mortal. That's also an important part of the show here.
let's see, touchstones. I really
Probably, I need a name for her, but it'll be a nun. We'll say she went to a couple years of Catholic school, grade school. And that's where she that's where her small moral core comes from.
Oh, very interesting.
If you're saying a nun, it's got to be Sister Abigail.
Why?
Oh no.
Who is Sister Abigail?
That's just a name I just imagine with one of those yard rulers. Just alrighty now, who's ready to prayer?
Yeah, it works for me, Sister Abigail. We got it.
Excellent.
Yeah, I need to think more about touchstones. What do you think? What I got so far?
What was that?
I said I need to think more about touchstones. What do you think would work? What I got so far?
Oh, well, let's see. It could be a student. Just a normal student or something like that. Let's see. So get what you have. Elevate the worthy, that kind of thing. Like, if you're it's your prize pupil who, is going to do great things in the world, especially as a woman, break that glass ceiling and all that kind of thing. And, they represent the best, striving for the best, elevate the best. That's something that comes to mind. Or something with a student. Again, your teacher might as well work on that angle. But on that note, since we're since we're at the halfway mark, why don't we take our break and we'll come back in 10, think about the stuff, or don't, just chill out for 10 minutes, close your eyes, deep breaths, So good. So good. Excellent. Cool. All right. So do your thing. See you in 10, and we'll be back. Sound good?
Okay.
Yep, 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 yep.
All right.
We'll be back. Alrighty, and we're back. Cool. All right. So where were we? We were talking touchstones and that kind of thing. And again, I'm not too concerned of getting things 100% done. I would my big thing is like, I want to be able to give you guys some adventure from session 1. So by then, hopefully, we have a good idea of what's going on. Your touchstones are in place and that kind of thing. But we do have a whole half of this to go. So kind of if we don't get the touchdowns for you done today, don't worry about it. Just definitely think about it. Let's discuss it on Discord and all that kind of good stuff. Yeah. So let's move on. What is next? The Sea of Time. So you guys, or you all, I'm sorry, you all are going to end up being, I'm saying neonates. Makes a bit of sense, but that may not work with the Jean Baptiste thing. We could make you childer.
Oh no!
That also
Actually,
works.
that would actually kind of work perfectly. The neonates, the embrace between 1940 and a decade ago.
Mm-hmm.
That would actually work perfect because I could say they've been traveling and then now they just recently finally found a place to stay. Because
I was more thinking about your child.
Oh, well, that could have just happened recently. Oh, wait, you're right. Well,
Yeah,
I'll make her 10 years old and then it'll be a decade ago. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Cool.
I'll switch it to 10 years old.
Okay. Does everyone else's story work with that also?
That'll work. So was your child born before you became a vampire, or was it after?
Yes.
We don't do the blood rain thing. They're not a Dhampir, or don't even think about that.
No,
don't even go there.
It wasn't any of that.
Nice
It
try.
was I was a kind of going through a divorce with my wife. I had my daughter. She was just born, and then I met Louis.
Okay.
Excellent. But just to clarify, between 1940 and a decade ago for the embrace works for everyone's background. I want to make sure we're all on the same good page here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. All right. So let's see here.
We are in the current year, correct?
Ish.
Have we had in this world? Are we dealing with COVID?
Oh God, no! It's the world of darkness, not the. It couldn't be that bad, right?
World of sadness.
World of sadness. So yeah, it probably will be 2021 in the world of darkness here. We'll figure that whole thing out.
I would hate to see COVID in the world of darkness. That'd be bad.
So why don't I'll let you guys decide. It's 12th or 13th generation is the Neonate era. And again, one of the things to kind of keep in mind about vampires is this whole generation thing. These newer games kind of like try to push, you must be a neonate, therefore, of this you're of this generation. So it's like, but what they aren't taking into account is like, well, like in the other games they kind of did, but it made things a little lopsided power-wise was, okay, so yeah, you're embraced 10 years ago, but your sire was a 5th generation whatever. So you're 6th generation. So that kind of thing was possible in the earlier games, but now they kind of want it to be basically like, it's like if you were embraced within the last 10 years, likely you're of the 12th or 13th generation. The people weren't siring constantly through the ages and bringing down the blood potency and that kind of thing. So I'll let you guys decide what you want to be. I would say just do 12th generation just because.
Yeah.
And that works out well. and which means that your
Oh,
children are
Oh.
definitely not going to be thin bloods if you should sire anything. But given that, why don't you pop in your blood potency of 1, and that can go up in various ways, which we'll eventually get into. And you also have 15 experience points to spend. So I would go to, for simple reference, I would go to the chart on 137 of your PDF and spend them in any way you like.
137.
Have a ball.
oh, oh. I might just do it then. If I got 15 experience points to spend right off the bat, I might just buy that 5th dot in the lore seat.
In the 5th dot and what?
The lore sheet.
Oh, gotcha. What is that anyway? Let's see. So, I will have to look that up.
Okay.
So what other discipline?
But no, I can't. Well, the thing is, I can't really do it and do the blood cult thing. It's like, it's one or the other. So maybe not.
Gotcha.
Because sadly, you cannot have obvious predator and a herd.
Yeah, that tends to negate or harm that. Excellent. Ooh, pardon me, wow. I'm the old person here. That's right. Spending experience points is always fun, I think. Especially getting them right off.
Fun, but it's hard.
But it's hard.
I don't know what to get.
Yeah. Let me try to figure out what I'm gonna do. I think I got something I wanted to ask is like, what are we focusing on, like skills wise? Who is able to do what?
Good question.
I have 2 dots in larceny, and 3 dots in streetwise.
Whole bunch of computer, right?
Yeah, I have 3 in technology with a specialty in hacking.
My main
Yeah.
thing is academics, occult, and like subterfuge, persuasion, and insight. And
Mine's occult, science, investigation, and insight.
Okay. My top 3 are streetwise, technology, and craft. If you need a pair of earrings, I'm your girl.
I do have now. I do have points in performance and persuasion.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna add to my stealth at least 1 dot.
and I do get for my specialties for performance and persuasion, so that will help in those.
Very cool. And as a note, the way 0 skill rolls go, like if you are looking to lie but you don't have any subterfuge or whatever the skill is, you just roll the attribute. There is no like negatives besides the fact that you just don't have that many dice to roll.
yeah. One thing I was wanting to ask about is hunting rules. How are we going to do like hunting and stuff? Just
at pretty much as the fiction warrants, if I'm sure we'll do everything from hunting as a dice roll to hunting as an actual scene at some point, that kind of thing. But we'll go with the flow, however it seems to work best for a given situation. Like we don't want to spend an entire night on like a single hunt for one of you. That would be boring. Well, it would actually be pretty exciting. I take the back. It would be pretty exciting, but not for everybody.
Yeah.
So like but as much as okay, so like Noel, do a streetwise roll to see if your bagger supplier came through or not, and we'll see how that goes, and then see where that roll takes us. Does it get you stuff? Did you botch it or bestial failure or whatever? We'll get into what those are at a later date.
I was just wondering because the normal Osiris role they have is manipulation subterfuge or intimidation fame. And I was wondering, like, is that just the normal things I would roll?
Probably. The whole idea of this Osiris is either, your fame within the group. You're either manipulating someone into kind of, hey, come into my dressing room and, we'll have a good time, or I'll show you this book, or something like that, as opposed to, using your celebrity as a weapon, you do what I say, you'll be blackballed in this community forever. And then, that kind of thing. That's how you feed in one of those two ways.
Mm.
But again, that's your predator type. There's no saying you can't go outside of that when the situation warrants it. Like if you're trapped in if Olivia is trapped in a sewer for a night and really really needs blood, guess what? She's gonna go for some freaking rats, or the alligators that live there. Actually, that's Florida. That's Florida, not Milwaukee. That's different. But yeah, so yeah, I think it's all what the situation warrants. But that's what you're best at. You're best at making people feel like, they'll get something special out of you, and it's cool to be around this famous person in this group and that kind of thing.
Yes.
Cool. All right. How's your expenditures coming?
I'm gonna have to look at that a little later, I think. But
Okay, and again, that's perfectly fine. Just make sure we don't want to, we don't want you to go with fewer points than you should have had. So just make sure you keep a good track of everything, and I'll probably look at your sheets after just to be sure you're all, up and up, and you have everything that you should have on there, and you aren't getting, you're not losing points just because you forgot this one thing or that thing, that kind of good stuff.
yes. Anyway, is there anything else we need to do? We might want to come back to the coterie and talk about that a little bit.
I would agree. Is everybody good with that? Should we continue from the player point and look at the coterie backgrounds and stuff like that?
Sure.
Excellent.
Wait, let me just make sure I'm reading something clearly. You can use, it's 7 experience points per level if you want to take a discipline that's not part of your coterie, right?
Not part of your clan. So like,
clan.
Yeah. So like, if you were, if you're a Toreador and you want to take Obfuscate, you would have to. The experience cost for that would be 7 points. So you're basically taking 1 dot. So 1 times 7, 7.
Okay.
Yeah, that's considered an other discipline, to answer your question a little better.
Okay.
And then, just as a note, like as you go up in levels of discipline specifically, that's where you're going to want to like cultivate people who have different, things in their blood, different emotions in their blood, and that kind of thing. I forget what the term. I'd have to look it up, but like for example, if you want to get a 5 in a discipline, then you pretty much have to have a human to feed on that has like this highest level of the thing. So if it's like Obfuscate, I think it might be fear. So you pretty much need someone who's been traumatized and remains traumatized and who's in a constant state of terror to feed from. I think it's called a dysgracia or something like that. But yeah, just something to keep in mind as you kind of go up levels, or if you're learning a new discipline outside of character creation that's not one of your clan ones, you have to feed off of a vampire that has it, and that brings you a little closer to the potential blood bond, which is all part of the politics game. But for purposes of character creation, don't worry about any of that at all. We just do what you need to do. And it's just assume that you went through that process or that kind of good stuff.
All right. So we had 15 to spend. I spent 13, so I have 2 left over that can't really be used for anything right now. Do I get to keep them?
I'll say I'll let it roll over for just 2. Yeah, that seems reasonable. If I wouldn't want you to like hold on to like 5 or 8 or 10. But if it's literally not expendable, then yeah, just keep it and we'll roll it over into your other experience.
Okay.
Cool. How's everybody else doing?
I am all just finished with my points.
Perfect. All right, let's kind of go back to the coterie and take a look at there. Let's see, y'all. Find it. Where is my stuff? Oh, here we go. Sorry, I'm trouble finding the coterie setup thing here.
It's character coterie creation.
Characters.
It is.
So what? 195?
Yes.
There. Oh, yeah, I see it. There you go. Cool. Alrighty. So this is the part where we figure: are you like again to Noel's question before? Are you living together? Are you all living like at the carnival and that kind of thing? Are you? Do you have your own homes? Or do we want to add on to like a communal what do you call it? A communal haven or what? But again, this is kind of like what you put together as a coterie. What makes you strong? What gives you a little bit of an edge over others? So, and we've already chosen the Questari, though we're not quite sure what we're looking for yet. I might throw some stuff your way. I have some good ideas. So let's see here. Looks like you get some domain stuff right off the bat. Some domain dots, one in chess, which I believe is the size of it. Lien. I have to look at what that is. And then some contacts. 2 dots and contacts. So let's see. Make sure I get it right here. Yeah, so the chess for the domain, this trait describes how well stocked, vulnerable, and rich the domain is as a hunting ground. Okay, so that's what that means. Let's see. Also, it abstractly refers to the physical size of the domain. So as it kind of goes down to explain, it's like because it's a combination of size and hunting ground, it's like if there's like nobody to hunt. If it's hunting opportunities are few and far between in this domain, then the size is bigger, that type of thing. So you have a bigger size for a smaller hunting possibility, or if it's like this is like target rich environment, then it's probably a tiny one. It's a single club, a city block, that kind of thing. So those two kind of balance it out. And Lien, that describe, let's see, how well integrated the coterie is into the domain. Each dot in land adds 1 die to the coterie member's pool on attempts to interact peacefully with mortals, and that kind of thing. Goes untight. So all the stuff you do within your domain, that's what that gets you. So at its base, you have like, you're actually doing quite well. You have a 1 chat, so it's rather small or bad hunting, but you do have better access to to the people around and that kind of good stuff. Let's see. Hold on.
Yes. So what kind of domains we have?
Yeah, give me just a second. So Leanne is like 3 holdouts just to start with and 2 contacts. So let's see what you get to go from there. Creation.
I think we get 1 point per person.
Yeah, 1 point. Yeah, the coterie pool begins with 1 free dot per player character.
Ooh.
Let's see. Players may also contribute their own characters' advantage dots to the coterie pool. But that's how that works. So if you contribute your own dots to the coterie pool, that's the stuff that you brought to the table, and when you leave, that leaves with you. That type of thing. And let's see. Yeah, so you can spend from the coterie pool collectively. Let's see here. The also patches coterie flaws to get more dots during coterie creation, so you can get flaws in these areas. So the question is, like, again, are you living together? Are you all kind of hanging out at the carnival? Is that your thing? Is that your domain, or is it somewhere else? Is it the college, University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, Marquette?
I like
If
the idea
Olivia's a
of
teacher.
circus.
Well,
Like,
I like the idea of meeting at the school. The domain will be the college.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
block of the college.
Yeah. Was that what you were looking at, Noel? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm trying to think, like, do we all have our own, like, little apartment in the college?
Ooh,
Or
interesting.
do we have, like, a house right off of the college? Campus grounds?
Oh, yeah, something like that, like right on the, campus housing, if you will, actual apartments that are slated specifically for, like, graduate students or that kind of thing. That would make some sense. So if you guys wanted to put some into, like, the Haven, that could work.
Just one second, Mr. Scott. I think I'm knocking on my door.
Oh, take care of business. You're good.
I do imagine that the way I took the mall walk is the Lillis Garden is probably near the college somewhere. Because that kind of feeds into my herd, which is, I imagine it's more of most of the time it's more of like a scholarly type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And occasionally they do the more, bloody rituals.
So, do you run, maybe, like, you could run kind of just off campus, like, special dorm rooms for like-minded students, so that, like, some of your herd is in, like, the ground floor or something.
That's neat. That's a good idea.
I'm just, because isn't your hunting, like, your celebrity or something?
Well, Osiris it's basically a cult. But the way I imagine it's a...
Well, it's a cult following. It's like the Justin Bieber fans. He's doing Osiris.
Well, Osiris...
I'm sorry to use it as an example, but that's just
I was thinking, like, it could be like a big thing of like, oh, we get to stay in like Professor Olivia's house. Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, yeah, it says you're a celebrity among mortals, or else run a cult church or something similar. It runs
You could make it a cult,
Yeah.
God, I love this. That's amazing.
and then they're just your cult. Yeah, like Noel was saying, like your cult members are those like-minded people who are in the anthropology department researching about like Lilith and other, female studies.
Yeah, like on the surface, it's like a special house for like female students to encourage diversity, blah blah blah. And like actually there are vampires in the basement.
I love it. I love it.
Oh my god! Holy crap!
That's pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so let's and of course, in addition, if you want to up your land to make it like a bigger area, that works too. Again, we can add in dots here. Otherwise, there's also as a coterie, you can just put all three in a herd, and those could be college students.
Well,
they're literally all over, and they're drunk a lot. So
we wanted this place to be haunted, right?
Yes.
If I recall.
Yes.
So we do have a flaw for the Haven already.
now, did you want that for your personal haven, John Baptiste?
Wait, no. This is just going to be for my. That'll be just be for my personal haven. It doesn't have to be for our domain. It doesn't have to be for our domain to have that flaw. That's not fair.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
It's not fair for me to push that flaw onto you guys.
Let's see, coterie creation. Well, we got Lien, which, if it's our domain is basically the college, we are really well integrated into the college with the quest
Very much,
offer.
Yeah, you have the ability to gain information and do stuff so much better. You have like 3 extra dice to do all that within your domain. But but again, so we have to consider, what is your domain? Does your domain become that city block that you that you kind of use as like your Lilith dorm? The Lilith dorm. You could probably call it that and get away with it.
Lilith dorm, yeah.
I think
And if so, you need to expand. Yeah. Or if you want to make it the whole campus, you need to expand your domain.
Yeah.
No, I think we should do like 3 dots and have it be the Lilith dorm, and it's like this huge building, and like ours is just the bottom, like the basement apartments, or like the whole basement is just for us, no students allowed down, and we have, and the students are all upstairs.
Yeah, if we put 2 points in the chassis, we can have the.
And my troop, we can run the distraction on the students that are upstairs.
I will move things around and give us a dot so we can have a laboratory, which is basically like my computer lab downstairs, so I can do all my hacking things.
Ooh, that's neat.
Oh, I love it.
What is that coming? Where is that coming out of?
I'm gonna pull. I had 2 in contacts, but I'm gonna make it a 1 contact and then donate a point.
Yeah, we get 2 contacts from the quest story.
Yeah, I didn't notice that before, so I'll take that out.
And if we, like I said, if we put 2 points in chassis, we can have the whole college as our domain, if you want. And probably want to put like at least 1 point into Portilion, so we can have it somewhat defensible.
Gotcha. And so Noel, for the point you're donating, what is that? What are you putting that in to get that? That lab?
I want. So I was looking at the Haven merits and flaws on page 188, 189. I don't know if that applies to coterie Haven creation.
Good. Let's take a look.
But it.
I mean, yeah, if we all share a haven, we points into it.
Let's see.
And they had
2. Yeah, have merits and flaws. Yeah, let's see here.
Anthropology.
I see. Laboratory. Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay, laboratory. There's a equipped laboratory. Each of this merit as one of the dice pool for. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, that would definitely work.
Whenever we get here, I move all my computer equipment in and make my lab.
That's cool. So that you have a point in Haven that basically gives you the laboratory.
I just request a closet so I can have a tarot reading room. That's all I need is a closet.
I think there's plenty of room for a closet.
Yeah.
It's pretty big.
That's all I need is just a table in the closet.
All right. So to clarify, so we have a good domain. We're basically taking up the campus. Is someone so we have so the let's see here. Laboratory. So the laboratory is a merit of Haven. So do we have any? Do we have any coterie points spent in Haven to begin with, or we just wanted to spend that basically get the laboratory merit on its own, and it's not actually anybody's Haven except maybe Olivia's.
I mean, it would be my Haven because I didn't make a Haven for myself.
Sure.
That's fine. Like, I can. Let me see.
And she lives to work. Cool. All right.
I might put some of my background points into something like that. It depends on what we're going to do. If I went with the Malaya, then it would probably be several other little vampires were around. If I didn't, I could probably put some points in like Haven or something.
Do we have 3 points to spend no matter what to start with? Is that the way this started? On top of what they gave us? Okay. So then, where are we going?
For coterie, it's 3 points, period. One for each of you. And then you're donating the one.
Yes.
And then anyone else can donate points to it also that's considered, that makes it a Haven coterie merit, as opposed, or coterie, background as opposed to...
Oh, so we don't get when we choose the coterie type, do we get the points listed under that for free?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't understand this. Yes, absolutely. Those are free. Those are totally free. And then you get the 3 points, one for each of you, on top of those for the Questari.
Sorry. Can those 3 points go into Chassis, Lien, and Portillion?
Yeah, that's what you spend them in.
Okay. So are we going
to put them?
Yeah, are we going to try to make this the whole college?
Yeah, if we put 2 points in the Chassis and 1 point into Portillion, I think that would get us the whole college and some security.
Okay.
That should be perfect then.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Okay,
Yeah,
and then Noel puts one towards the lab, basically. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. No, theoretically you still have to have you have to have the Haven merit, and then that as Haven as a background as a merit. But this sounds quite reasonable. So yeah, we'll basically give you you'll the merit that's laboratory in the basement there, and that's also your Haven. It's like a 1-dot Haven, and kind of go from there.
Yeah,
And again, this can all be improved. I've actually done whole campaigns where all they wanted to do is consolidate power, and they made their havens into these death traps for anybody trying to get in by the end of the campaign, that kind of thing.
I mean,
so this is all over.
I don't want to be H.H. Holmes.
Yeah, please don't. America's first serial killer. Welcome to Chicago.
I could always just spin points into the Haven.
Yeah,
and
you guys can all go over that on Discord. That sounds like it. Like I said, this is all something that I know you'll all want to talk about and consolidate. At the end of the day, when we're ready for session 1 next Tuesday, my goal is to basically have you all with the character that you're actually going to enjoy playing and, want to do stuff with, and a coterie that makes a lot of sense to you guys and that that you put together, that kind of thing. So those are our goals for session 1. And it sounds like we just need to do a lot of behind the scenes talking and like point shuffling and that kind of stuff. But we want to have fun. I want to make sure you guys have fun, adventure, a little danger, and all that kind of good stuff. And also, just so you know, I'm going to continue my thing with getting things on World Anvil. So I'll be giving you guys links to World Anvil to join your characters to the campaign, and we'll be able to keep track of stuff there. One of the things I'm requesting is like for that you do select a character like portrait. My ask on this is that you go to a place where basically I don't want to use anybody's art without their consent. So like go to like Pexels.com or one of those. Let's look it up. And basically it's people create photographs and put them in the public domain, or and it's pretty much in the public domain, and attribution is optional. I always do the thing. So basically my ask of you is to find a character portrait from one of these places. Again, it's Pexels or Prexels.com, I forget which one, and you'll find some good ones there. Send me the link for them and all that kind of good stuff, and we'll get that in the game on the Roll20 interface to make that a little more interesting, because otherwise it's going to be a little boring on Roll20 for you guys. Interesting on the Twitch side, but not as interesting for the players on the Roll20 side. So that's my ask for you for next session, before next session also. What else would you like to cover tonight? We can talk some stuff out if you want, or if you feel like you need to think on it. I need to pray on it. No, I need to think on it, and get back to each other in Discord. That's fine. Or else, what else? You have any questions for me about Milwaukee, or like things you're curious about?
What college is our coterie own?
Oh, you gotta
for hunting.
Here.
I know nothing about Milwaukee.
Yes. So there are several major colleges. There's University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, which is on the far east side. On the near east side, you have Milwaukee School of Engineering. And here's the one I'm pointing you towards. On the west side of the Milwaukee River is Marquette University, a Jesuit college. On the grounds, they have brought, and this is a fact, you can look it up, on the grounds in the very center of the campus, they have the Joan of Arc chapel, brought from France, brick by, stone by stone, the one that Joan of Arc herself prayed in and spent time in, etc. Also, big female figure. So that would be the most interesting. Yeah. But of course, you're also surrounded by like priests and stuff. So there is that. So those are the main ones.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, that would be very interesting.
It does kind of go Lilith House that we have going here, right? Ooh.
Dang.
That's why they're just off campus.
Yeah, the Jesuits really don't like you.
Ooh, that could be a good like little lower level enemy. One of the Jesuits from the school. Here's
a flaw, enemy flaw.
Oh God. But in fairness, I actually went there before I dropped out. Here's a little Scottism for you. I went there before I dropped out, and I was very poor, and I had an on-campus job. I worked in the Jesuit Community Center right behind the Jesu Cathedral, right? And basically, I was a receptionist. I answered phones and got notes to priests who lived there, and I got to do homework and stuff while I was on the job as part of the fringe benefits. But the best fringe benefit was the priests had a professional, like top tier cook, a chef, like a world renowned like European chef who cooked their stuff, and my benefit was I got to eat from the leftovers once the priests were done eating their dinner. So here's the thing. I was so poor, I ate the leftovers of people who had taken a vow of poverty. There's a Scottism for you. Now you know more about me than you actually wanted to, but that's a little bit there for you. So that would be, I think that would be, make it the most interesting college, but the other two are definitely would present their own interesting things. I don't think the MSOE, Monarchy School of Engineering, would be a great one for what like Olivia's trying to do. So I would say one or the other is probably your best bet. But I'll let you figure out what works for you.
The engineering college does seem like it would fit with Noel.
Yeah, it would make sense for her. But I think even I think most colleges have a computer science courses now that you can kind of blend in with.
Yeah, I was trying to think about what specific her specialty in academics is. I was thinking like history or anthropology or something.
Yeah, those any of those would be great. Or occult studies, that kind of thing.
I do have occult as a skill.
Yeah. Folklore.
Oh, good.
European folklore or something.
Oh, that's so good. That's like a cult euphemism. It's not occult studies. It's Eastern
folklore.
European folklore.
Yeah, I can always just go like sociology. That's a good one for a brief hop.
Study of humans.
Oh wow. Oh, that's getting extra deep. Cool. Any other questions? Anything? Again, I'm kind of your man for the Milwaukee background stuff. I'll answer any questions you have here or on Discord. And but otherwise, like, is there anything else we can talk about with your characters that you're not, that we don't want to talk about on Discord, and or that you have formed in your head, or is it you guys will have a lot of collective thinking to be doing right now, like offline?
Oh,
yeah.
We want to go into like the ambition and desire thing.
Oh yeah, let's definitely do that. I'm sorry, I was going from like the step 1, step 2, step 3, and I think I skipped over that. But yeah, let's do the ambition because that's also really important.
Oh no, I have none.
I have none.
So hoping you would notice. I didn't do that homework.
Oh, that's all right. All right, so let's see here. Ambition and desire are related, but not identical. Think of ambition as a long-term goal, an aspiration, a life's dream, etc. By contrast, desires are more immediate, short-term wishes for revenge, satisfaction through revenge. So let's see. So character's ambition keeps them acting and moving both night by night and in the Chronicle. Provides motivation for the player and story hooks for the storyteller. And ambition must be measurable in game terms. So yeah, they give some good examples. So like, my ambition is to achieve a Humanity 10, or my ambition is to liberate Chicago from the Camarilla. An ambition is not something vague like end racism or achieve world peace or feed the world. It basically wants like a concrete achievement. I want to do this. And the desire is less lifelong. Oh, and I should probably go into this. So if the character achieves her ambition and the Chronicle continues, the player should decide on a new ambition. At the end of the session, which the character has actively worked towards ambition. And this is important. So whatever your ambition is, it's important that it be something you feel like every session you can be doing. Because one of the fringe benefits of an ambition is, at the end of a session in which the character has actively worked towards their ambition, they recover 1 point of aggravated willpower damage. So, and we'll again, this is all rule stuff we'll go over as necessary once session 1 starts and all that kind of good stuff. But that's so important to be able to, have an ambition and a desire that you're actively pursuing. So let's see, for desire, it's less lifelong ambition, momentary wants. Each session, a character can select a desire. So each time you can select a new desire, a thing you want to do. which is kind of cool, actually. I like that. Or keep their unfulfilled desire from the previous session. Once per session, when the character is definitively asked to further their desire, they may immediately recover 1 point of superficial willpower damage. So, which is also good. So again, having a desire and an ambition that you can actively pursue are both really important to, your mental upkeep, basically. So desire, less specific. I shouldn't say less specific, because it actually, a good desire connects in some way to the outside world. So rule of thumb for desire, if it doesn't involve someone or something named in the relationship map, which is basically your touchstones or other characters, it's probably not worth considering a desire. By that metric, I want to drive a cherry Maserati, or I want to eat a brunette, fail as desires, but I want to drive Cytherea's cherry Maserati, or I want to eat Lord Harkness's brunette, are good desires. Well, actually, I shouldn't say good desires. They are acceptable desires. They're what you're looking for. So, yeah, have given that you've kind of thought over your general character, do you know your ambitions right now?
Let's see.
I need to think on that a little bit.
And if you don't, again, that's okay. That's something we can puzzle out. Let me know.
And I do think I need to
go.
What's that?
Go ahead.
I guess part of my question is how active is it the Second Inquisition that's hunting vampires right now? Is that is that something that is potentially part of the story?
Yes.
That we're going to run into?
It is potentially potentially. I can't confirm. I can neither confirm nor deny.
Right.
But I can say it's out there, and it exists in Milwaukee as well as most of the major areas.
Mm-hmm.
Milwaukee is actually the highest populated city in Wisconsin, followed by Madison, which isn't saying much. So there's that. So every major city, if you will, would have some presence, small or large. Of course, New York would have just, cadres of these guys running around, and that kind of thing. Oh, no, we're losing people.
No!
There she is.
I don't know why it does this sometimes, but I always come back right away.
Okay. I'm glad you're back.
Let's see. I'll have to think about it.
So I have these flaws that I haven't quite filled out yet, of suspect flaws where there's a group that doesn't like me, and then I have an enemy flaw that I have 2 dots in. And then I have this need for an ambition, which makes me think maybe how long ago did the Second Inquisition start?
Oh, wow. That's a good one. I mean, within the last decade, I want to say. My vampire lore isn't fantastic on that part. But I think
in the lore they basically came out when they 9/11 happened. They were part of the anti-terrorist response.
So like 2001
right now. Nobody expects to finish Inquisition.
I'm wondering, because I'm trying to figure out also how I died, and I'm wondering if it's possible, and I think based on the date it was that I was like caught in the crossfire more or less.
Oh, interesting. Like you were caught in the crossfire of a Second Inquisition attack, and then your sire embraced you rather than let you die, type of thing.
Oh,
gotcha.
So,
wow.
Yeah, I mean, Milwaukee, that sounds quite reasonable.
So then that would let my ambition be ruin as many Second Inquisition lives as possible. Does that work as an ambition?
Or like wipe them out of Milwaukee.
That works. But it'd probably be kind of through because they don't. She's not like someone who is gonna kill people. It'd
Right, but
be
you can
like
expose
through
their
exposing their
things.
secrets and stuff online.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
yeah, totally. And
essentially,
that makes all the
Yeah.
sense in the world too. So
For
good
an
job.
ambition,
Hmm.
I think it would probably make more sense to have like a specific important one rather than just
yeah.
like a broad one.
There is that specific enemy that I'm supposed to have as a flaw.
Yeah, that could be a second position
So
person that's been hunting you, or
yeah, I'm thinking like the actual person that killed me and realizes like that I'm still out there. Like I have this mask that fools everyone else, but they know I'm still alive.
that's so cool. I like that. I
Oh
like
my
that a lot.
god, that's
so neat.
terrifying.
Like
Yeah,
everyone
that's
else
cool.
just thinks they're paranoid because they killed a human and they just feel bad about it, but they know I'm still alive.
Funny.
I need a
Yeah,
name.
yeah, that makes
Okay.
sense. Awesome.
Ambition. Let's see.
Very neat. And if you can't think of one, that's fine. Again, this is stuff we can totally cover. And you have full edit rights on your character sheet, so feel free to do whatever you need there. While we do this, why don't you guys take some time? We have like 25 minutes left of the session, so if we can divide it up, 8 minutes a piece or something. Let's introduce your characters to the Chronicle. Well, let me start with Noel. Tell us about Noel, though. From top to the bottom, you have like 8 minutes.
All right.
Or less, if you like. Whatever
Yeah.
pleases you.
Noel Rua was an oldest child of 2. She has a younger brother. She had a fairly normal childhood, but they were never particularly well off. She doesn't do well with being told what to do. She tried a couple college classes, but couldn't really get into the structure of classroom training. That was never her thing. So eventually she started kind of self-teaching herself coding, fell in with some less reputable people and realized she could make a lot of money that way. So she has her jewelry making business that was, I guess maybe Etsy wasn't around at the time, but somewhat online, somewhat selling to the college too. And like in little stores and stuff around. That was kind of her cover for how she was making money. She was a human contact for some vampires. She didn't actually know they were vampires. Got caught in the crossfire of a Second Inquisition raid, and since she was useful, her sire embraced her. Since then, she did let herself die to her family. She keeps an eye on her family and friends through, security feeds, intercepting email, enough to know what's going on in their lives and have pictures and things like that, but not enough to actually let them know where she is. And she learned how to make herself useful to Vampire Society. She used that hacking skill to be able to make masks. She has a different
Very cool.
she has a different identity now. I guess I need to figure out what names for all this, but she can make masks. She has some contacts. She has some expertise with the local black market. She can get blood delivered to her when she basically trading out her skills to get bags of blood.
Right.
And she looks for opportunities to hurt the Second Inquisition, or stop it, or slow it down, whenever she can.
Very cool.
And she occasionally still makes earrings.
The Queen of Etsy.
That's
Nice.
part of the mask.
Perfect. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Awesome. How about Jean Baptiste?
Okay.
You're freed
I'll do
from
this in
the
characters.
you're freed from the 100 words description now and have
Yay.
a full 8 minutes
And
to
I,
yourself.
and I will actually do this in character too. Hello, mon ami. My name is Jean Gaston Baptiste. I come from the French quarter of Orleans. Now you see, I was an author in my previous life. I wrote under the name John Guggenheimer Horror. Everyone said I could write a story greatly, but I never knew how to end my books. Now, I was married, but me and my wife, we never truly got along. She said my heart was too big, that I loved too much, and she was getting tired of finding. Jean cannot deny this. Now, when she found me with my last escapade, she kicked me from the home, and I was in the process of losing everything. I met my love of my life, my Louis, my muse. He took me into his arms, and it was like we flew into the sky when he bit my neck. And he introduced me to my new family. But before then, my ex's father, he got intoxicated and took my daughter, and unfortunately they crashed, and I lost control and I took his life. I still blame myself because he did not deserve to die. Nobody deserves to die for a simple mistake. So I swore to Louis I will never kill an innocent man or woman. I love magic. Magic is fun. And I love to tell fortunes. The cards will always tell what is the outcome. And Louis told me that from our clan we have always been known to be quite mystical, so I used my talents. And one of my favorite things to do is to find the scum in the city and dominate and find in their mind their secrets. I take those secrets and then I send them away to get drained. That way I don't have to deal with their blood. It's gross and icky.
It's gross.
Now, I do have to say, I do have talent in blood sorcery. You'll be surprised at things you can learn in that trade. Now, we have traveled all across the country and we have found ourselves here in Milwaukee. This place is dreary, I don't like it, but Louis says we have to stay. So we have brought our family, bought this beautiful home, but I swear there are ghosts here. But we are vampires. We are vampires. It's like, why should I fear? But poor Shoshana, she can't sleep in this. I always have to end up taking her to the local university so she can play with her new friends. Well, now, make sure you do come by the Blood Carnival. We do know how to have such a good time. Now, it's not a real carnival, we're just a troupe on a boardwalk, but still, the sights we will show you. And there you go, that's Louis.
Little Hellraiser there for you mixed in. Good job.
Perfect.
Excellent. All right. How about Olivia Young? Tell us about Olivia Young.
Let's see. Still thinking a bit, but the parts that I imagined so far is she was a fairly standard college professor and something like anthropology, sociology, something along those lines. And she was traveling around, let's see, in different parts of the world, probably according to, I was looking in like cults of the blood gods. There's a really big Bahari like garden in Budapest, I think. And I think that she was just trying to learn, like coordinating with people, like from local cultures, and trying to learn more about what was going on, and just kind of traveling around and exploring, kind of like on the pay of the college and stuff. And that's when she met her sire, who was who basically saw her like scholarly nature, and yes, we could we could
Use that.
yes. And so she was basically, and I imagine in a relationship with our sire a little bit before she was finally embraced. And they traveled around for a while, but eventually they came back and settled in Milwaukee to try to build a new like garden here.
Oh, okay. That's really cool. Very cool.
And so ever since then, she's been working with her sire to create a new Garden of Lilith in Milwaukee.
No one saw that coming.
Uh,
That is cool. We like that. Awesome. Very cool. Now I have to research the Garden of Lilith and stuff like that. I apparently didn't get that far. So that sounds really cool. I like that. All your backgrounds are so interesting, and I love how they're different, but I totally see how you guys all came together. It makes sense. I mean, in essence, I think the thing that weaves you all together is you're all like searching for something. You're the good questaries. Noel is confined to information anywhere. That anywhere that's hooked up to the internet is her domain. And all the the databases therein that can be hacked. You have Jean Baptiste, who seems to march on the side of the mystic, even being in addition to being a Malkavian. And there's questions to be answered there. There's things to search out. He was a traveler, a vagabond for a good amount of time, trying to, see what there is to see, explore the world and experience. And then you have Olivia, obviously looking for knowledge and that next thing that, you all make perfect questaries. So that makes a whole lot of sense. So very cool. So yeah, anything else you guys wanted to add? Otherwise, we'll end the session here for now, and we'll chat a whole bunch on Discord, and then do session 1 this coming week, Tuesday.
Can't wait.
Sound good?
Sounds
All
good.
right. You guys have
Sounds
so
great.
much homework to do.
Oh.
Hopefully, my hope in your real life lives is that, however stressful things might be, getting together here, doing this, and talking to your fellow, players and whatnot in the chats makes it at least a little lighter, that kind of thing. Something to look forward to and something to take the edge off. So that being said, I want to thank my players who are awesome as always. And again, these are such individualized stories. These are not these are not cookie cutters here. This is awesome. I love it all. And they give me so many hooks to work with and so many things that, ways that they can work together and achieve their own goals. And it's good stuff. So I'm very impressed with the characters. So let's say goodbye to the players though for now. Let's start with Cassie. Cassie, thank you for playing this campaign.
Okay, peoples, I'll say goodbye. I love you.
Fan favorite, Cassie. And then we have Brian. Brian, thanks for coming back and rejoining the in process case files.
Oh no, thank you so much for having me again.
That's
It's always such an honor to be able to come back and play with everyone.
It's a good group. It is an awesome group. So how can we find you out there in internet land, etc.?
Now, if I may be so bold.
Please, absolutely.
If everyone has free time on Sundays at 6 p.m. on Mountain Time, non-Sundays, on Saturdays, it's Nerdy Dirty Media. I hold a podcast with my players from my game that I GM on Sundays. We hold a weekly discussion about life, things that are going on in the nerdy world, and sometimes we get a little dirty. It's pretty fun. And then on Sundays, I host a game, and this Sunday we're ending the first arc.
The infamous arc. Awesome. Yeah, it's exciting stuff. I've sat on a couple sessions and a podcast too. So, and also before I forget, Fire Park Creature, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome to the Case Files, and you get to see more of Brian and the rest here. And of course, last but not least, we have Jenna rejoining us from the one shot and daring the horrid seas of Scott's Case Files gaming and deciding that she wanted more of that torture and that she is braver than anyone knows, and she is back for an actual full-on campaign. So it's good to have you, Jenna.
Thank you. I am very excited to see how this goes.
Me too.
Should be excellent.
This is going to be excellent. I can guarantee you.
Yep.
So on that note, I am Scott's Case Files. Thank you for watching the stream. Thanks, Fire Parker. If Fire Park Creature says you're very welcome, I said thank you. I'm a huge fan of Vampire and Masquerade. Love the game, and me too. It's so cool, and I'm enjoying kind of relearning some of the lore also, because this, I'm not sure if anyone else watching is kind of aware that there was Vampire the Masquerade, which had all the major lore. Then we kind of took a break and we went to Vampire the Requiem, which kind of broke away from all that. I kind of liked it, but it's interesting to come. Now this edition, 5th edition, comes back to the original lore and it takes all that. So a lot of stuff going on here. Anyway, that being said, I'm Scott's Case Files, this channel you're watching. If you want to see more and want to see all these three awesomest people in the world, do some following and subscribing here. My social media stuff is below. I highly recommend that you join up on the Discord, etc. And then if you're watching this on Twitter or on YouTube rather, all that stuff is in the description below. And otherwise, I hope everyone has a good night. I'm looking very much forward to session 1 on Tuesday. And again, I do apologize. I'm not as prepared as I generally am for a session 0, but it's because I'm catching up from vacation and and all the stuff that goes into it. But I'm working very hard to kind of catch up and give you like the intro movie and all that good stuff. So that being said, have a great night. Be good to each other. Go forth and do no harm, and don't be a vampire. And we'll see you in a week. Bye for now.